Americans are dreamers too.
And I want us.
Now, Shelley Winter.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Shelley Winter Show on YouTube. Want to talk about this Thanksgiving is coming up, and I want to help my conservative friends out there. You're going to go to Thanksgiving dinner, and you're going to run into a family member who is a Democrat. And what's going to happen is you're inevitably going to get into an argument with your Democrat family members, all right? So I'm here to help you out, and I'm here to tell you the 10 steps that you should take in order to win the debate with your Democrat voting family members this Thanksgiving. The first one, and this is the initial, this is when you get to Thanksgiving dinner, and you're at Thanksgiving dinner, and you walk in, and your niece, who's in college now, and she comes up to you and she says, "Uncle Shelley, are you really a Republican?" What you want to say is, "Absolutely, niece, I'm absolutely a Republican. You know why I'm a Republican?" And she's going to say, "Why? I can't believe you're a Republican, Uncle Shelley." What you're going to say back to them is, "Because I've lived life. I'm 50-something years old. I pay taxes. I support you. I've given money to you throughout your entire life. As a matter of fact, when you were born, I wrote a check and gave it to your mom and dad. And the reason why I'm a Republican is because I want to keep my money so I can keep helping people, so I can keep giving money to you, sending money to you in college, so I can keep sending money to your other cousins. And so when you get married and you have a family, I can write a check to you." So that's why, the first reason why I'm a Republican. I want to keep more of my money in my pocket so I can help my nieces, my nephews, my family. Do you understand? So that's the first thing you're going to say. Then what's going to happen is, you're going to have a cousin you grew up with that's going to come and say, I can't believe you're a Republican. I can't believe you voted for Trump." This is what's going to happen. It happened last year. It's going to happen again this year. What you're going to say to them is, "Yeah, I did. I voted for Trump. What's the problem?" So you got to shut them off. Don't let them drag it out. Just shut them off. "Yeah, what's the problem? I voted for Trump. You voted for someone else. I voted for Trump. Shouldn't we be diverse in our family?" And so then they're going to say, "Well, I can't believe you did. He's a racist." Well, what you're going to say at this point is you're going to delineate all the people that came into contact with Donald Trump before he ran for president. The first person you're going to point out is Oprah Winfrey interviewed Donald Trump on several occasions, and never once did she bring up that, "Hey, Donald, there's rumors out there that you're a racist." And you're going to say, well, since she didn't, and I trust the judgment of Oprah Winfrey. I mean, she is one of the most successful African Americans, one of the most successful Americans. Forget black, forget white. She's one of the most successful Americans in this country's history. So I trust her judgment on people's character. So that's the second thing you're going to say. The third thing is going to happen is they're going to start to tell you, well, he's going to be impeached. This one is an easy one. What you're going to say back to them is, well, didn't you say last year at Thanksgiving that he was going to be impeached with the Mueller report? I remember us sitting in front of this stuffing. We call it stuffing where I'm from. In front of right around the stuffing last year, you said he was going to be impeached with the Mueller report. Well, that didn't happen, so he's not going to be impeached this time either. So that's the fourth thing. The fifth thing, they're going to say to you, "Well, Shelley, you're a Republican. The Republicans are racist." Now you're going to point out something very important to them. You're going to point out to them that criminal justice reform, juvenile justice reform, all of these things started with Republicans. You're also going to point out to them that school choice is a Republican idea. Now, if you're going to point out to your family member, don't you always complain about the schools in your neighborhood? Didn't you just move to the suburbs because the schools in the hood were bad? Well, wouldn't you have rather have had school choice before you undersold your bungalow in the city to move out to the suburbs where you had to pay more and more in taxes? Couldn't you have done the same in the city and had a school choice and had a charter school possibly to send your child to? Isn't that better? And then point out to them, for me, I'm from Harlem, so I'm also going to point out Harlem's Children's Zone. which is a public charter in Harlem, where parents are literally fighting tooth and nail, and they cry when they have the lottery every September, and they have the lottery. If your kid doesn't get in, there are parents who literally cry that their kids don't get into these charter schools. So point out that juvenile justice reform, criminal justice reform, and school choice, three very important things to the African American community, which is you're talking to your family, they happen to be black, but even if they're not black, these are three important issues to all parents: criminal justice reform, juvenile justice reform, and school choice. So that's the fifth thing. The sixth thing they're going to say, they're going to attack you with, well, he's dumb, he doesn't know what he's doing. Well, you're going to point out to them that, well, he can't be that dumb because he beat 16 other Republicans and then beat a 30-year person that's been in politics for 30 years. So that's something. A dumb guy doesn't do that. And the guy was a successful businessman. And not only that, even before he ran, going back 20 years, interviewers would ask him, why don't you run for president? People don't ask dumb people, why don't they run for president? So I forgot what number I'm up to. Was that 7? I think that was 7. Number 8. And if I messed up in my 10 issues, then please excuse me. But number 8, this is going to be a big one, right? They're going to say to you that the president shouldn't tweet. He tweets mean things. He says mean things. Well, what you're going to point out to them, 99.9 times out of 10, he's tweeting back a response to someone who was first mean to him. And especially if you have a young man in that room, what you're going to point out to them is, if you were attacked online or you're attacked in public or someone calls you a name, aren't you going to respond in kind to them? Well, there's no difference here. Just because he's president doesn't mean he should allow people to just go around willy-nilly calling him stupid, calling him a liar, calling him a thief, calling him a Russian asset, calling him all kinds of a rapist, a racist. All of these terms they use for him, he's just defending against that. Number 9. Number 9 is where you're going to get, now this is where you're going to get into the tricky area, because you've knocked down everything they've said up to this point. So now they're going to start skewing things. They're going to start making up things that they heard in the media. And they're going to say, well, I just don't like him, Uncle Shelley, because he seems to just be so mean. And what you're going to say is, what does mean? Really, what is it that it means to be mean? Is it mean when you call his wife names? Is it mean when you call his children names? Is it mean when you call him names? Isn't that mean? Isn't that divisive? Like, how did he all of a sudden become the divisive guy when people were being divisive to him? So if you rip the country apart by calling this guy a Russian asset, he stole the election, and you look to impeach the guy from the day he won the election, how do you now put it on him that he's divisive? That's number 9. And number 10. And this is the big one. This is where you really shut down a conversation. This is where football's about to start. You're tired of having these discussions. It's Thanksgiving. It's a day you want to give thanks with your family. It's a day you come together with your family. This is a point in time at dinner where you realize, you know what, I'm not here for this. I'm here to share love, affection, and thanks with my family members who I don't see all the time. We know Thanksgiving is a time for us to come together. So this is the point in time where you want to end it all. Football's about to start. Food is being consumed. You're about to work on your second plate, which is really the most important plate at the Thanksgiving dinner. The first plate is just kind of lining the stomach. It's the second plate that really where you get the flavor from. It's where you know what's good. So you go back for your second plate to get the good stuff. You don't want to have this conversation anymore. So here's what you say to them. Repeat after me. I need you to say it exactly as I'm saying it. You're going to say this to them. Hey, let me ask you guys a question. Because up until this point, you guys have been asking me a question. Well, let me ask you guys a question. My question to you is very simple. What has the Democratic Party done for you? Just leave it there. What has the Democratic Party done for you? You guys attacked me when I came in the House. Why do I vote Republican? Why do I do this? Why do I like Trump? You all have asked me all the questions. Let me simply end this right here. And you're welcome to answer this question at any point for the rest of the afternoon while we're here for Thanksgiving. What has the Democratic Party done for you? Just leave it there. They won't be able to answer. Just leave it there. Let them all walk away. Let them all think about it. And that will give you time to eat your second plate. It'll give you time to enjoy a good football game. And ultimately, someone's going to come back to you and say, well. And you're going to say, well, what? And they're going to say, well, I just think that the Democrats like me more than the Republicans. And then you're just going to sit back. You're going to put that last forkful of food in your mouth. You're going to take that last swig of whiskey. And you're going to say, hey, young one, just watch football with me because this debate is over. Peace.